السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حمدا ومصليا أما بعد. The issue of faith as to whether it increases or decreases has been a historical issue within Islamic theology and an issue upon which there has been some differing amongst the ulama. However, the later scholars generally were able to synthesize between those different positions. Not that everybody agrees with that necessarily, but that was the way in which many of the later theologians were able to synthesize between certain issues. This is one of those issues. For example, Al-Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala and subsequently the Hanafis, Maturidis, believe that Al-Imanu la yazid wa la yanqus. Faith does not increase or decrease. Now, that may seem odd to somebody if they have understood their religion not through studying theology but through common culture. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing necessarily, but that they've been hearing in wa'adh, in talks, in reminders, etc., that Iman is high, Iman is low, that when your Iman is low, do this, etc., etc. So if you've been hearing something your entire life, Iman high, Iman low, when somebody comes and says Iman neither increases nor decreases, it's shocking, it's surprising. And that's understandable. However, when we're speaking from a theological point of view. And so that differs. The parlance differs, the istilahat, the technical terminology, the taxonomy differs. From science to science, let alone to urf, to common culture and custom, and to the actual sciences. So here, let me just clarify, the position of Imam Abu Hanifa and the Maturidiyya of Iman not increasing or decreasing means the actual affirmation of faith. Meaning, for them the definition of Al-Iman was at-tasdiq bil-qalb wal-iqrar bil-lisan, but as was clarified by the later Maturidis such as Al-Kamal ibn Humam, the idea of manifesting faith upon one's tongue was in order for a person's faith to be known by one's community so that they could treat one as a Muslim. They can give that person their rights as a Muslim and they can expect from that person their rights as Muslims. And when that person was to die, that they would bury them in a Muslim graveyard, they would wash them and they would shroud them, etc. So all of those ahkam of marriage, divorce, inheritance, burial, all of those ahkam for that ijra'ul ahkam, in order to bring about those rulings of the sharia for such a person, they had to have al-iqrar bil-lisan. But really the essence of faith, the difference between heaven and hell, the difference between being a mu'min and a kafir, ultimately is at-tasdiq bil-qalb. It is to affirm it in the heart, that certainty. And that certainty cannot increase or decrease. The quality of it can increase or decrease. Somebody can have more quality in their iman. And so how they understand, let's say the Asha'ira and Shafi'iyya, when they say al-imanu yazid wa yanqus, that faith does indeed grow and decrease, they mean in terms of quality. The quality of that certainty, the quality of that faith. Not faith itself, because somebody could be down and under. Their iman is low. They are in a very, very dark place. But if you said to them, do you believe in Allah and His Messenger? What would they say? They'd say, of course I believe in Allah and His Messenger. Just my iman is low. I'm spiritually lethargic. I'm not able to bring myself to be able to do X, Y, and Z. But hasha, astaghfirullah. Of course I believe in Allah and His Messenger. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. So there's a clear distinction. Even if somebody doesn't take that position, one should be able to appreciate that position of what they mean. So, does Abu Hanifa actually believe that Iman yazid wa yanqus? Yes, he does, but in terms of quality. Does Abu Hanifa believe that al-imanu la yazid wa la yanqus? Yes, he does, in terms of the actual tasdiq and affirmation. That's all the issue is. There's no irja or anything like that people have made up, that they've heard and now they are regurgitating without an actual understanding of the positions of these great ones, of these great awliya and ulama of this ummah. Of course, you also have the Ahlul Hadith, the early Ahlul Hadith, that not only included al-iqraru bil-lisan, to affirm on one's tongue, but they also included a'mal, acts. They said acts are also a part of iman. Now, interestingly, nobody differs with that. But it depends on what you mean by acts are a part of iman. Do you mean that the definition of iman is made up of 3 constitutes, 3 parts, ajza? That one juz is the tasdeeq bil qalb. But iman is not complete. Yeah, you're not a believer. You need the second part, which is al-iqraru bil lisan. Now you're only 75% believer, not fully. Now you have a'mal, deeds. Now you're 100% believer. Before that, you were not a believer, you were a kafir. If that is somebody's belief, then that is the exact belief of the Khawarij. That was the position of the Khawarij. And the Khawarij, based upon such ideas, made takfir of the Sahaba, such as Sayyidina Ali, karramallahu wajhul kareem, and Sayyidina Muawiyah, and Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. They made takfir of the Sahaba based upon such ideas. This is a very, very problematic idea, theologically speaking. However, if you mean by it, thamarat al-iman, min thamarat al-iman, from the fruit of faith, a natural consequence, a necessary outcome of faith is action, then nobody has anything against such a position. There's no difference of opinion. And we have many reports from the Salaf where when they were truly asked why they didn't pray the janazah of a particular fasiq, they did it as a deterrent, to deter other people from that person's actions. But they never made takfir of such a person. Now you may get differing reports, and they are items of knowledge that need to be contextualized, but these are the theological positions. So if somebody says action is a part of faith, then what do they mean by it? If somebody says iman increases and decreases, what do they mean by it? If you mean the quality of your iman. Because if you believe that iman decreases, what does that even mean for your iman to decrease? Does your certainty decrease? Does the amount you believe decrease? So I hope you can appreciate when the great ulama are speaking, what do they intend by what they are saying. So inshallah, I hope that clarifies that position. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us an understanding of this deen, mateen, that is pleasing to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala and is ultimately a means of our salvation. Allahumma ameen ya rabbal alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.